People often ask me, can you buy a high-end property with a VA loan, a more expensive house? And the answer is yes. In fact, you can actually do that with no money down. And there's a lot of bad info online. And so I want to correct the record here because unfortunately, if you start looking online, you'll see all kinds of crazy things that are being said. And that's just not true. So there is a program called the VA Jumbo product. And so what a VA Jumbo loan is a VA loan that's above the Fannie Mae limit. Now you might be asking, what is the Fannie Mae limit? And good thing you asked. The Fannie Mae limit, which is the conventional loan limit, is currently 806,500 most parts of the country as of 2025 when I'm recording this. But the good news is the VA actually does allow jumbos. So it'd be called a VA jumbo loan if the loan is above that 806,500. Now, the reason there's so much bad information is because it was in the old days, there used to be a limit where if you were above that Fannie Mae limit, then you would have to put a down payment down. Now, the VA changed this 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I kid you not. In 2019, there was an act called the Blue Water Navy Act 2019. And you might be asking, what the heck's that to do with jumbo loans? Because basically, like a lot of laws, they roll things together. And there was a case where some Vietnam veterans were trying to get some disability paid. And so they had this law called the Blue Water Navy Act 2019, which reformed a lot of VA stuff. And part of that was the VA entitlement reform. Now, with that law, it says if you have full entitlement, which means that you don't have any other loans outstanding at the time of closing. Now, you can have it before closing, but at the time of closing, if you have no other VA loans outstanding and have no other foreclosures on your record, you have full entitlement, then you can actually buy whatever the heck house you want with no down payment, which is really cool. Now, of course, that doesn't mean you can buy anything. You've got, credit, debt ratios, residual income things. But if you can pull all that off, there's actually no requirement for the VA. And like I said, you can have no down payment. Now, if you have partial entitlement, which means that you have another residence that you're renting out and you want to keep renting that out and have 2 mortgage payments, then those rules would apply where those Fannie Mae rules would apply. Now, it's a little bit of a complicated formula. Definitely, if you're in that situation, make sure to have a competent loan officer that can figure out your remaining entitlement because you could possibly have a down payment due, but maybe not, depending on the size of that other loan. But you can go over, by the way. So if you are over on entitlement, that doesn't mean that you wouldn't have that you couldn't get approved. All that would happen is you might have a down payment due. That's all it means. Now, there are lender overlays on this. A lender overlay is a rule over and above what the VA requires. Some lenders will say, you know what, even though we will allow jumbo loans, or the VA allows jumbo loans, we personally do not feel comfortable with that. And they could say, we're not going to do loans over a certain loan amount. That's certainly possible. Lenders can also put down payment requirements, credit requirements. They can also limit products, especially these renovation products. I have seen lenders that'll say, you know what, we do have a renovation product, a VA renovation. I read a whole series on that. They might say, we do have renovation products available, but we do not do jumbo renovation loans. That's one example of many. But again, the VA jumbo program is a great way to get into a house. And like I said, 0 down if you have full entitlement, of course, if you meet the credit and income requirements. And please, please, please don't believe what you read on the internet because, like I said, there's a lot of bad info. So whoever you're listening to, make sure they have a license, they know what they're talking about, that they have some experience with VA home loans. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of these bloggers out here that will write these articles, and sometimes for big companies too, by the way, that are just clueless. Or sometimes they have posts that are 5 and 6 and 7 years old that maybe it was true at the time, but it's not true anymore. Again, you have full entitlement, you can get that jumbo loan, no money down, which is really freaking cool. Now, if you have any questions about VA loans or any mortgage in particular, feel free to give me a call. My number is 937-572-3713. It's Scarpero.com. Talk to you soon. Bye.